Welcome to Nerdaties. Bitches.
Thanks, baby. No topic too absurd, no statement too asinine, no question too interesting. You saw the title, so you know it's another Nerdities interview show. I am Mike,
I am Justin.
And I'm Joe.
and we have a returning guest by the name of
Chris.
Chris, creator, writer of Crit, C-R-I-T, each with a period after it. Chris, please lay out the concept behind Crit.
So it is a Dungeons and Dragons like superhero homebrew turned into a comic book.
I was hoping that's what it was. Not to brag, but we've been doing a lot of interviews lately, and some concepts stick. I remember that concept as one that was awesome. I just couldn't quite remember who we talked to about it. And as I was prepping for it, I was like, oh, I hope it's this one, because that was a badass idea.
Well, I'm glad I could deliver.
Yeah. You have another Kickstarter coming up, another Kickstarter. Actually, as of this recording, it starts tomorrow, right?
Yes. 8 p.m. tomorrow is when I kick it off.
All right. For issue 8 of Crit.
Technically issue 9, but I was a dummy and did an issue 0. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Child of the 90s, everything needed to have a 0.
I mean, I do metal covers, I do foil covers, and I do issue 0s. So,
Die cuts. You just...
Yep.
I bet there's something in you that's pissed off that you can't get a hologram made. Like that you're not there yet. Because I would be. I am.
I'm looking for someone that can do that kind of like old, like the X-Men, the Phalanx, where they had like the hologram card built in. Like, I would love that, but that's a lot of work, and I'm sure that's.
I'm sorry, that wasn't the Phalanx Covenant. The Phalanx Covenant had a slightly different cover to it. That was the the series where Magneto pulled the adamantium out of Wolverine's
okay. All right. Showing my age here. I forgot. I'm sorry.
I gotta go full nerd on that. But yeah, I'm a 90s kid too. That's all I ever want for our stories, is to be able to slap a hologram or a die cut or something.
We could do it. Our printer does them now.
Really?
Yeah.
I miss when you just get a pack of trading cards. You'd be like, oh my God, I got the special hologram card on. And you're so stoked. You put it in your book. You're like,
those fucking X-Men and Marvel cards were incredible.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know the dopamine hit I wish I could have now by opening up one of those?
I just remember being a little kid walking into the comic book store. It was a collector store, and he had like a glass case on the side with like all the baseball cards and everything, and he had like all this baseball memorabilia. And then on the back wall was just racks of comic books. And then he had the at the very end, it was a short like glass case, and he had all the Marvel cards in it. And me and my friend every week we'd take our allowance down there, we'd ride our bikes, and we'd pick out a few decks of cards, and we'd sit there and trade and figure out who had what. Oh man, I love those days.
When I first started collecting, there weren't a lot of comic shops in my area. The only place that sold weekly books was Jiffy Photo and Baseball Card. So you can tell this guy just put the cards and comics in there to supplement his photography business, because it actually brought people in. The look on his face when all of us kids would come in there and just ransack the place, he regretted it.
in Barnegat, we had Castle Comics and Showstoppers.
Castle Comics.
Castle Comics. I bought so many comics from Castle Comics.
I don't remember the name. I mean, it was like 35 years ago. I can't remember the name of the place. I know there was Mr. D's, baseball and like collector stuff, but there was one before him. I don't remember that one.
I have them all seared into my mind. Most of them. I have the good ones seared into my mind. The asshole ones I kind of pushed out. Any shop where you'd go in and be like, hey man, what do you recommend? And the guy just looks down on you and says, like, well, you gonna get Spawn? Yeah, go get some Spawn, kid.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. This is the 90s. Why wouldn't I be buying Spawn?
I just found my Spawn first print. I just looked at it. I was like, is this a first printing? I'm like, oh crap, it is. And it's actually in really good condition.
Cool.
That's cool.
I mean, there's only like 1.4 million that were made, so it doesn't really matter, but still.
So
it matters to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I have a first printing.
Well, if you're an idiot like me and you put your first printing in like not even in a sleeve, I had a Trapper Keeper with a little thing in there you could slide your issues in. I would bring them with me and read them in class. Beat to piss my first issue of Spawn. I think I bought a backup. I hope I bought it back up.
You said it. I gotta pull it out. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
it.
Here we go.
Same basic.
My actual Trapper Keeper
Trapper
that I use
Keeper.
for Dungeons and Dragons. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, if I'm gonna play Dungeons and Dragons at my age, I want a Trapper Keeper because that's just what I want. So for my birthday last year, I bought a Trapper Keeper.
Are you
Where'd you-
DMing or are you questing?
I'm DMing.
Okay.
I'm the forever DM.
Makes sense to have a trapper keeper in that instance. You need the fold. You need
Right.
order.
And there's nothing more exciting than that noise.
Oh, yeah, no. I miss my Trapper Keepers.
Kind of want to buy. I want to buy one to put my iPad in just to feel cool.
I wish I had a Trapper Keeper for my D&D campaign. So we are doing a homebrew wrestling D&D.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And we've recorded it. Each show has been recorded. We're releasing it as a series.
We've done 10 episodes technically, 5 and 5 in each sitting.
Yeah. 15, 10? 10? Is it 10?
And we've only sat down twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
No?
three
Maybe.
times. Three
Don't
times.
ask me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
We've done 3 times.
Okay.
5 shows per sitting.
Yeah, so we're getting there.
We have three sessions left, and I'm like 42 different NPCs.
I know that. We're starting a Warhammer game.
God bless.
Actual like RPG, not table. Well,
Oh,
I am working on the tabletop. I just got the Emperor's Children the other day, and that's my first set. And I was like, well, I'm just going to get into it. I've been talking about it for years, and why not spend all the money I don't have?
Yep. I know that feeling.
So you've got the figurines. Are you painting them yourself?
I will, but I'm going to have my kid help me because she's a far better painter than I am. So
Sure.
I showed them to her, and I was like, hey, so I'm actually doing it in the color scheme of Homebrewed. So it'll be like blue, violet, a little bit of white, like mixture. Because Emperor's Children is like really like high contrast pink and purples. So our logo kind of fits the theme, and so she's gonna go with me and help me pick out all the paint and do all that.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
My oldest son, he is in our wrestling D&D with us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, he's 15 years old, and just to make sure we kept it family friendly for him, I created my tag team to be a Dom and his Gimp.
Yeah.
We're gonna scar every last piece of this kid's brain by the time he's old enough to vote.
He needs to be ready for the real world, Joe.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to start them off right.
we're wrong. So we're kind of burying the lead. We're here to talk about crit a bit. So where are we at with issue 9?
So with this one, it's titled "He Who Would Be King," and if that doesn't give it away, it brings in the lore of King Arthur into the series because King Arthur does exist. I've been waiting for this one because I said when I first started this to some people, I'm like, it's really it's an Arthurian tale with superheroes. And no one believed me because there's no King Arthur, there's nothing there. But we had to get through to the point where they start learning about some of the history of the abilities they have, and the lore that they're told is King Arthur was one of the first superheroes kind of thing, because he fights big giant monsters and stuff, and so it brings in a lot of just ancient like groups, and I don't want to give away too much because you'll read the book to find out. But yeah, it finally brings in King Arthur, and so if you look at his suit, it is more sci-fi. My King Arthur is very highly inspired by Knights of Justice, the cartoon from when I was a kid. I don't know if you remember that one, the football players that get transported back in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that cartoon. And so when
It's on
I was
Tubi.
thinking about what's that?
It's on Tubi.
Oh, it is? Well, I have to watch it because
Yeah.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely loved like the designs and stuff like that. So I was when I was designing Arthur, I took some elements from those suits, kind of inspired by. Um, so yeah, we had to bring him in. It's it's the first really narrative driven book that we've done. Everything else, like if you play D&D, you know it's action and banter and things. There's still banter, there's still action, but there's a lot of narrative and a lot of like backstory because most most of the books have been character driven. You know, they're going to do the quest of the day kind of thing.
Mm.
And this session was a like a role play session because we had done all these, you know, fighting sessions and things like that, and everyone was kind of working on some. They had leveled up, so they were working on some character sheets, and while they were, you know, homebrewing their new levels, we went into some cool narrative. And I remember playing the game with them and like listening to the recording, and there's a lot of really good dialogue between the characters and some of the backstories of the characters that nobody else knew going into the game. I had a couple characters, players that I was like, hey, from the very beginning, I'm like, this backstory that you have, we're going to modify it later on, and this is your true backstory, but you're kind of like hiding some things. And so
Can you push back from that? Because like I know if in our D&D, if he's our DM, Justin's our DM, if he told me the absolute direction my character is going, I might be forced to tell him to go fuck himself.
No, I didn't tell the direction. I just said this is some of you, how do I put it? Like he's a deceptive character.
Okay.
And some of the stuff he did, I said, hey, like this story I have for your character fits. What do you think? And he was like, oh, I really like that. And he ran with it. If he didn't like it, we wouldn't have done it. But I said, I think this would be really cool for your character because he plays kind of like deceptive anyway.
Okay.
And he always had something going on and we didn't know what it was. So I sat down with him and I said, hey, I'd like to do this. And he was like, I like that idea.
Yeah.
So, you know, some of the questions that we've been building up for that character throughout the issues do get answered. And like I said, the role play between him and the rest of the team when he kind of comes out with some of this information was a lot of fun.
It's great to keep it collaborative. We try to keep it collaborative, Justin and I. Between the arguments, we get a lot of collaboration done. The Kickstarter shows that issues 1 and 5 have been remastered. It says
Yes.
coloring work. Is that a complete top to bottom recolor or a touch up?
Issue 1 is a complete top to bottom recolor. Issue 5 is just the very ending. So issue 5, the last, I want to say 12 pages are a different artist. I had a friend of mine that came in and I wanted this one portion of the book to flip the art style because we were going to, you know, narrate the end. There was a lot of dialogue in the end. There was a lot of character movement per se. Like they wanted to change some of the stuff when we were playing, and so we had a lot of dialogue between characters. And I said, hey, you know, you did issue 0. Can you come in and end this chapter with you know, your art style? Because then it would kind of like close out the book.
Good book ending.
And he had a lot of stuff going on at the time, and he even told me the art was rushed. Like you know, we were late getting some of the pages. I almost drew it myself because we were so far behind. And looking back at it, I know it's not his best work. He knew it wasn't his best work. And I said, you know, this year we relaunched Homebrewed Heroes into Homebrewed Comics. I've rebranded, you know, I've got a few new members of the team. And I said, if I'm going to relaunch, and it is our 5-year anniversary, so I want to fix the things that I was always like not really happy with. And issue 1, you know, I didn't even know how to make comic books. I didn't even know how to draw when I first started doing this. So issue 1, I think I had 3 different people help me color that. And coloring was part of, like, probably the weakest part of the book. Most of the feedback I got was like, hey, if you had one solid colorist on the entire book, it'd probably look better. And so I went in and I did the flats, and I had a friend of mine, Nestor Radula, who does a lot of my coloring on my covers. I said, hey, you're really good with like effects and shading and all that. Like you can really make colors pop. I said, can you come in over top of me and do your thing? So we kind of split responsibilities there. because I didn't also have enough time to recolor the book by myself. So I flatted it, sent it off to him. He did his work on it, and now it's completely recolored, and it doesn't even look like the same book. Really, really proud of it.
I can completely understand that. I've penciled, inked, and colored the book that we've done together, and I'm not ashamed of my colors, but I know it's the weakest point. So I understand that this could get next level if someone who knew what they were doing got their hands on it.
Right, and colors can really save. And I don't, I would have redrawn the book now because I've been drawing for 5 years, and an average book takes me anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 hours to complete from start to finish with everything we do. So if you think I've drawn 8 books, 8 times 3, what's that? What? I can't do math. 24. That's what 2,400 hours that are, like that I've put into drawing at this point. And, my art style now is a lot better than issue 1, but everyone I spoke to said don't redraw it because the progression from book to book is part of the fun of reading the book.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to redraw it, but I thought, hey, like recoloring it will make it pop and it'll fit with the rest of the series because I had professional colorists doing the other books. Issue 6 I did color, and I actually am very proud of how that book came out. But I took a lot of time on it. Issue 7 and now issue 8 are being done by Louise Thomas, who does a lot of my covers as well. But the ending of issue 5 is being drawn by Robert Nix, who does a lot of my like my really funny covers, like Samedi drinking rum and smoking cigars. He's got a very stylized like art style, and I just love how Crit looks when he draws them. So I said, hey, since I want a different art style for this anyway, can you do these pages? And he's almost done with them now. So they'll be ready. They should be ready this week. So we'll be done with, issue 1, issue 5, and the whole Kickstarter will be done, and ready to ship by October.
Yeah, I see he did one of the covers, the limo cover. That looks pretty tight with the coloring too. Justin, you had one?
Yeah, I did. Not so much what you guys are talking about now. I wanted to jump back to the King Arthur of it all. How do you feel handling a character that's been like around forever?
Oh, my King Arthur is nothing like anybody else's.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, but like, because like when we get to play with existing characters from other media and stuff, and the things we've done, I love being able to like turn everything on its head.
I love King Arthur to begin with. I've always loved that those stories and the lore and everything that goes into it. When this whole thing first started, one of the very first ideas I had was an alternate history of King Arthur and his knights and everything, and them causing a lot of these things to happen in the world. And of course, hundreds of years later, why is it not here anymore? What, because it takes place modern times. So why did we not experience these things again? Why does Medusa not exist? And I kind of go into some of that. And being able to take a character who, as a kid, any King Arthur story that came my way, I was reading, and like you said, flip it on its head and do a lot of fun, cool things with it and make it my own. I've really enjoyed it, and we're touching base on him now, but you still won't know his whole story until we get through, because I don't like just dropping everything at once.
Yeah.
I don't want to overwhelm the reader, and I want to give the characters time to breathe. And I think putting King Arthur in there is a big move, and giving too much at once kind of dilutes the whole thing. So we're going to give a lot of his perceived backstory. You get, a character telling his story. So it is, like a telephone game, but later on he will come in. He will come into the story full force.
So the information you get from the narrator may not be 100% accurate when Arthur shows up.
Yes, there is a lot. So every character in this game, and as a DM, I love to bait and switch and deceive my players because you've got to, you've got to put hooks in there and you've got to have fun. If you give them all the information up front, there's no like aha moments later on.
Hmm.
And so there now what's fun is we intentionally there are characters that have not interacted at all in the story, and you will find out throughout this the next few issues when the Arthur thing really starts to take place why these two characters don't even shake hands ever. They could be in the same room, but they've never come into like physical contact whatsoever. And that's gonna be really fun when that drops. So we get to drop some things. We get to answer some questions that have been kind of like going on since issue 3, and really bring in some fun elements to the story that they just can't happen without these different perspectives going back and forth.
I see we have 4 different potential covers.
There's actually a 5th. I am
Really?
about to drop the 5th one probably on launch. Louise is doing his King Arthur cover, and that will be the metal cover, so it'll be printed on aluminum.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, Joe, you have one?
I was gonna say your wraparound cover it looks absolutely sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the one I was going to highlight by a fellow named Thiago.
Yep.
Thiago. I'm seeing a bit of Joe Madureira influence.
Oh yeah. So he was posting on Instagram years ago, and he's done I think 4 or 5 pieces for me by now. And I saw his work, and I was like, dude, that's like so Joe Mad. He's like, yeah, of course, like that's my inspiration.
Yeah.
And so he shot me a message a few months ago and said, hey, I've got, my schedule's clearing up if you need anything. And I'm like, well, I have this idea. Let me toy with some stuff. But I was working. So I work in, tax field. So, from January on, I'm slammed. So I finally got to sit down at the desk, and I came up with the idea that I wanted, because I wanted the art to be a landscape so I could use it for the Kickstarter cover. I knew his work would be like, I want something eye-catching up there. I want when people are scrolling through Kickstarter to go, oh, and click on it. And his artwork kind of has that pop. And as he's drawing it, I'm like, well, I'm going to use it for 2 reasons. I'm going to use it on that cover, and then I'm going to flip it. So on the Kickstarter, you see it one way, and then on the cover, it's flipped another way. And I was like, I just can't not print this as a front and back cover so you can get the whole thing. It's just beautiful.
The only thing better than a wraparound cover is a gatefold cover.
Yeah, but I can't find anybody that does gatefold anymore.
Yeah. Doing a triptych is tricky. I've only started one triptych in my life, and I never got around to completely finishing it. I did the pencils and the inks, but the coloring I have it on my iPad. I have it in Procreate. Every once in a while I'll dick around with it, but they're so tricky.
I have one 4-panel cover, and I could not find a printer, so I had to print 2 versions of it. So I had to print one side and the other side.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Okay. So by the time everyone listens to this, it'll be up and available. We should be searching. We have people search for Crit or for Homebrew on Kickstarter.
I actually, you know what? I think you can just search Crit. I think I've done enough Kickstarters now that you can just search Crit. Let me find out.
Yes.
Yeah.
The easiest way to find the Kickstarter is to just go to yep. So if you type in Crit right now, I'm the 5th one on there. But in the event that you just want to save time, you can just go to homebrewedcomics.com. Landing page will have this Kickstarter. It'll also have Bigfoot Knows Karate, which drops 2 weeks after this.
Great title.
Yeah. I love Bigfoot Knows Karate. And then we're dropping Celestial Knight versus Caspian Porter. We're doing that one about 2.5 weeks after Bigfoot. So we have 3 consecutive Kickstarters. And I've got to say this, because if not, Dan, who does Bigfoot Knows Karate, will be very upset with me. We talked about our love for the 90s. And so for these 3 Kickstarters, we have a homebrewed 0 coming out at the end of the year for anyone that goes in
Talking Image Zero here.
Oh yes, it is
Oh.
completely inspired by Image Zero,
Great.
but they're all original stories.
It has to be. It's like Image Zero. It's got to be fresh material.
Except they just put cover art in some of the place of where I have an Image Zero, but
It's just an image of Death.
so my story is we have in Crit there are 3 talking animals, a chameleon, an owl, and a cat, and they are running the coffee shop with their new friend Dr. Roombato, which is a Roomba with a robot body. And you can just imagine a cat around a vacuum, how that's going to go.
Mm.
And it's 6 pages of a day. It's called Caffeinated Critters. And that will be my 6 pages. And I'm drawing it. My daughter's coloring it. And then Dan has some side characters that he's going to do a 6-pager with. Caspian, again, we're just doing like side stories within our universes. And we have a 5th creator who is coming in, Mo Lubison, who does a lot of covers for us. He's doing cover B for me. He has a fantasy drama 6-pager that he's doing that he's reviving from about 20 years ago. He had the line work done. He never did anything with it.
Wow.
And he asked me, he's like, hey, I see you're doing this issue 0. Can I put this in there? It's never been published. I've never done anything with the art. And it's already done. And I said, of course, like the art is beautiful. And it is a fantasy drama story within 6 pages. So
That's great. That's something to check out.
right. It's 5 new stories, not going to be printed anywhere else. And so when you back Crit, you're going to get in your rewards, you'll get a 3-digit coupon. When you back Bigfoot, you'll get a 3-digit. And then when you back Caspian and Celestial Knight, you'll get a 3-digit. You put those 3 together and you go to the website and you can fill out the form and you'll get the issue. But you have to back all 3. Now we understand that some people might come in on Bigfoot and some people might come in on Caspian. So Bigfoot will have my Crit 8 available as an add-on. If you add it on there, you'll get your coupon. Same with Caspian, it'll have Bigfoot and Crit. So that way, anyone that comes in at any point in time on our Kickstarters can take advantage of that and get in on Homebrew 0. And we're doing a foil cover because it's a 90s thing, and you can't have a 90s inspired thing without doing foil.
Absolutely. Respect your vertical integration, respect your synergy. We're coming up against the wall though, so we just want to let everyone know. Crit, go to Kickstarter, check out Crit. Or you can just search for Chris Sahloff, Sahloff.
Launches
Two
on the
Fs.
30th.
2 Fs
Yep.
for savings. And or just go to Homebrew.
Homebrewedcomics.com.
Homebrewcomics.com. Thank you for your time. We'll definitely be checking it out. I haven't started any kicks in a while, but because you're going so 90s, I think I might have to.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I might have to get in on this because of the hero.
Yeah, anyone doing a foil cover these days, take some guts.
Yeah.
I always do foils and I always do metal. I have to.
We're getting to that hologram one day.
If I can find someone that does a good one,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Well, it's not a standard episode, so we don't give the good old nerdy spiel, but we do end with the classic fuck bye.
Bye.